Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So today I'll be reviewing a movie and it is titled And Then Came Grace. It's a movie that is showing on Omoni Oboli Tv featuring Bimbo Ademoye and Taye Arimoro. Now this is one of those Christian movies. Yeah, we've seen them, but this one has a little bit of uniqueness to it. That is why I have carried my review to your doorstep. Let us get right into the review. First of all, I would like to say that the actors in this movie, that is Bimbo and Taye, are very experienced actors. So obviously they know what they're doing and they did not make watching this movie boring. At least you could sit through the whole movie. I think if it was done by other people, maybe less experienced actors, I'll be saying a different thing. They made it possible for me to sit through the whole story. Like I said, this is a Christian movie, so it focuses on faith, all those church things, you know what I mean? Yeah. But then, why I said it's unique is because most of the Christian movies that are on YouTube recently, they focus mainly on Christian couples that are believing God for children. Yes. And it also started with Bimbo Ademoye. I wouldn't say she's the first ever to do something like that, but there was a movie she brought out one time on her channel about faith, and she was believing God for a child, and at the end of the day she had a child or children. Yeah. If you are on YouTube, you are conversant with how the story goes, you know that after that particular movie, other channels started doing Christian movies about couples that believe in God for children. And bruh, this movie, I wouldn't say it's completely original. We've seen things like that, we've seen stories like that. Even this one self, you can predict, like you already know where we're going to, you already know how it's going to I knew how this movie would end before we even started it. But yeah, I think the topics that they touched, I think it makes the story unique a little bit. So this movie is about Bimbo and Taye. Bimbo is a nurse and also a minister in church. She's an orphan that was raised by Mommy G.O., who is now her mother figure, advises her, tells her what to do in her spiritual life and all those type of things. Then we have Taye, who is her neighbor. Yeah, who is Bimbo's neighbor. Do not judge a book by the cover. So Taye, obviously he was into partying, he was a content creator, drinking and things like that. So from outside you would judge him, you'll be like, why is this church sister communicating with this worldly brother? That was the way it looked from outside, until we heard Taye's story. Now this movie touches a very sensitive topic that not many Nigerian movies talk about. Maybe movies abroad touch topics like that, but there are sensitive topics that Nigerian movies need to explore. I'm telling you, I think they shy away from it, or they want to escape, or would I say escape? They want to avoid controversy. That is why some of these topics are not really touched. So this story is not that it explored that particular topic very well, but at least it just tested the waters, okay? And it's a good start. So I would give it to the writer and the owner of the story and the production in general. In this movie, Bimbo and this worldly brother, starts talking. Normal neighbors, come to my birthday, come to my church, normal neighbor and neighbor relationship, until our brother catches feelings. But then over there in church, Mommy G.O. and another member of the church, a woman, is preparing Bimbo for some other guy that stays abroad, the son of this church member. So this church member wants her son to marry Bimbo because Bimbo is this amazing minister, she's a nurse, she's great, she's wonderful and stuff like that. But we later find out that this her son no be human being. If you watch the movie, you understand why I said that. I don't want to spoil the movie for you as usual, so I'm not going to go into a lot of details. But Mommy G.O. influences Bimbo to agree to marry this guy from abroad without even having feelings for him or anything. So, in order to obey Mommy G.O has already said, oh, I had the voice of God. All these things that church people say, I had from God. God revealed to me. That bullshit. Yeah, that's exactly what happened here. So this movie is unique in that aspect. The message of the movie was passed very clearly. Look, it's not everything that is the voice of God, and it's not everyone that tells you, oh, I had the voice of God, that you should listen to. I think that you should go on your knees and listen to the voice of God. Hear it on your own. God can give somebody a message to give to you, but he can also give you your own message direct. Do you get? It's not all those things that church people say that you should believe. It also touches on the topic of criticism, hypocrisy in the church. It also talks about using influence to push people into something they do not want to do. All those things that happen in church. I'm telling you that judgment will start from the church. Yes. So that is basically. Oh, and it also talks about parents' relationship with their children. If you watch this movie, I believe that you pick a lot of things. Kunle's relationship with his father was really affected by what happened. Kunle's decision not to go to church again was the fault of the church. It was because of the church. Okay, the church is like a refuge. Okay, where if you're in danger, aside God, of course, God is our refuge, but here on earth, what you're seeing, people that you're seeing that you believe are your brethren, when you're having problem, when you're in danger, when you need support system, the church comes to mind. The church where you're supposed to run into and find, comfort, pushes you away. Is that not amazing? That is literally what happens in our world. The church that is supposed to hold you, guide you, comfort you, they will push you away. They will judge you, criticize you. Please, we all know what I'm talking about. So that is the message that this movie is trying to pass. Very powerful, very beautiful. So it's a really good watch, and it's very easy to watch. You're not going to get bored, you're not going to get tired. Everything just flowed. It was just the end that they did a lot of telling and not showing. Okay, they just skipped and then we're at the end. But the end is also predictable. You know what will happen. But then I thought and I hoped that they would have shown us everything. But yeah, they just did it and ended it. But it's still a good watch, and the message was passed. There are some movies you watch and the side characters are not needed. But yeah, the side characters did what they were supposed to do. I also like the acting of that guy, Richard, that came from abroad to marry Bimbo. I also liked his acting really well. Who else? Yeah, that's basically it. Anywho, should you watch the movie? I've said it before. I said it's a very good watch. You should go and see it. And I believe that you're going to pick a lot of things from it. Parents are going to learn from it. Ministers, Christians, members of churches, workers, whoever believes in God, you're going to get something. Even if you don't believe in God, you false prophet, you hypocrite, you that will criticize your fellow church member, you judgmental human being, go now and watch that movie on Omoni Oboli TV. That is the end of my review. Peace.